All right, Alec,
Right.
it's time to return to Hogwarts
We're
one last
returning to
time.
Hogwarts one more time.
All right.
Uh, yeah, this was the special that released last year. No, 2 years ago actually, December or something, November of 2021, somewhere around that time.
Something like that. It's the
Um,
20th anniversary special. Yeah.
yeah, of Harry Potter, the Harry Potter film franchise. So yeah,
Yeah, and if you're just joining us, we've just gone on several months long journey through every Harry Potter,
yeah,
week after week. Every Harry Potter, every Fantastic Beasts movie, and now we wanted to top it off with a little return to Hogwarts, and then we'll have a couple videos next week wrapping everything up, and then that's it. Our longest endeavor yet, but it's been a big journey.
yeah.
Been a lot of
Has
fun.
been quite the journey. Yeah, and this is like a little bit of a nice little warm hug after the kind of rough patch that Fantastic Beasts sort of
Right.
left us off on.
Yeah, I thought this was really well done. This special.
I I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I really have all that much to say about it though.
Well.
Like it's, I mean, if I could critique one thing about it,
Mm.
it's the fact that I feel like I've heard almost all of those stories that they told before.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess that's the thing because I probably haven't heard,
Mm,
not nearly as much as you have, so it's probably giving me
yeah.
more.
When I was a young preteen teen, I was a Potter fiend. I mean, I still kind of am a bit of a Potterhead, but
Hmm.
um, maybe not quite as, or a whinging wizarding worldy. I don't know what you call it now. I uh, I do love the world and the everything about Harry Potter, really. But um, so yeah, I guess maybe I do have that a little bit of that advantage, right? Or the
Right,
luxury to have known some of that stuff before. So
but I hope you still got some enjoyment out. Is very endearing seeing everybody. The fact that they got like so many people to return, they got all the
mm,
directors, and it's kind of like a nice a fresh breath of the air when it's like something going this long, and it's not like these like they're able to get pretty much everyone. It's not like there's people that are like resenting it. There's a lot
mm,
of these things that you might do a reunion for. There's always like that like little drama between them or something, and they all seem to have a lot of respect for each other and look back on it fondly. So
yeah.
that was nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like there was some. It was unusual where there were some people that just weren't around for it. Michael Gambon not being there was. I'm not really sure what the reason for that was exactly. Maybe just didn't want to come. I don't know. I know I can't remember her name. The lady who played Molly Weasley was diagnosed with cancer. Fairly recently, within the last 3 or 4 years. So that probably is a contributing factor as to why she didn't come.
Hmm.
Um, and just some of the other random people here and there. But yeah, honestly, having all the directors back again, like having Alfonso Cuarón there was great. I mean, I think he's a spectacular director, and I
Well,
really
yeah,
liked I really like that. Chris Columbus getting to just like reunite with them again. It was just
right.
a kind of a nice
It
wholesome little moments
was
like
really
that.
nice to hear from all of them because it's like
Mm,
when you see a series where it's like multiple directors, you usually think there might be some um like might not look back on it as fondly. There might be something there, but
mm,
they all like had nice things to say about the experience and everything, and it was
yeah,
cool. I really appreciated the framing, how you like moved through the series, and so you move through the directors and more relevant actors as you go through as well. That
mm.
was really, really tastefully done. I liked how they did it.
Well, I also like. It was very nice having, because Robbie Coltrane passed away in 2022.
Yeah.
Or was it earlier this year? I think it was 2022. So him still being around at that point was also just like, it's just a nice, beautiful time capsule to have him still there, and giving interviews and or answering, talking about his experience and getting to talk with Emma Watson. Like it was just very very nice
Right.
seeing stuff like that happen for sure.
Because I remember even when I hadn't seen this back when it came out, I remember that clip circulating on social media of a clip of his like, I won't be for future generations. I won't be here, but Hagrid will still be here.
Yeah,
It was always like, oh, that's really nice. And then now finally getting to watch it, I was like, yeah, that's really cool.
And that's true. Hagrid is this the best friend, and that we all wanted to have basically growing up. He's just a nice wholesome adult.
Yeah, it was just really nice seeing the golden trio, the or three main characters.
Three main characters. Yeah, in the Gryffindor common room, it was just a wonderful. That was probably some of the best stuff. I would say that's probably some of my favorite stuff in the whole thing. But I think what I would say was my favorite, which is the part where I think when Lauren was here with us, I think she had said something like, "Oh, you'll probably cry during that." I was like, "Yes." And the part that did make me cry was when it was Emma Watson and Rupert Grint.
That made me cry too. I was like, I'm not crying at this special.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was like, that made me cry.
I had full tears.
Yeah, it was just a beautiful moment,
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, when it's like a documentary style special like this, those kinds of moments are what, if you're directing that kind of thing, it's exactly what you want. You want to get them comfortable enough to where they can just kind of,
open up like that,
speak candidly and be vulnerable. It's not like really guiding them super hard. They're able to just kind of, they probably gave them like a little nudge, and they just kind of open up from there. And it all felt real natural, and it was nice. Helena Bonham Carter is really kooky.
She's chaos. I love her. I thought she was so wild, and I love the fact that all
and stuff.
All of those sets are still around too. I don't know. I think they said where those sets are. I think I don't know if it's in a studio in London or where exactly, but I love the fact that some of those sets, like the Gringotts set, like her vault, that's still around. Like that stuff's awesome to me. Like filmmaking is like one of those things that I think you and I definitely shared that very passionately, and like actually having those places. I don't know if maybe they were kept around for something like this, and then now they're gone now. But I do hope that like stuff like that is still somewhat around in existence, because some of that is just that's a little bit of film history there. So for sure.
And all these little tidbits that I didn't know about are fun to learn, like him kicking Dobby down the stairs. He just kind of did that in the moment.
That was one of those ones that I had heard before. Yeah, that was one that I'd actually forgotten though. I'd actually forgotten about that happening. Yeah.
And I liked how excited like Helena Bonham Carter was that she got to actually blow something up with her wand.
Yeah, I think they showed it in that when she set Hagrid's hut on fire.
Yeah.
It was like an actual explosion. Yeah.
It was just nice, all these little factoids that I didn't know, and it's cool just how they talked through everything. One thing I thought was really interesting is her talking about kissing Emma talking about kissing Rupert. Yeah. And I thought for sure she was going to mention the kiss with Daniel Radcliffe, because that's the one thing I had read is that she always she thought that was the most awkward thing ever. But now it's like, no, this was the most awkward thing ever. And we don't even mention the other kiss.
Yeah. I thought that, I kind of thought that was interesting too. I thought they were going to mention the fact that she had to kiss him too.
She had to kiss both of them.
Yeah. Which is probably, mad sibling energy. Very weird.
And that one was like half naked, like kind of crazier. So Yeah, but it was like Harry kiss erasure going on, but that's all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I didn't even know about Emma Watson thinking about quitting at some point.
Yeah, that was something that I had forgotten also, and actually glad she went into a little bit more detail about that because I remember hearing about that like a long time ago, but like never knew like details about why.
Mm.
And I'm glad that they sort of brought that up and talked about that for a little bit because yeah, I mean I can imagine it being like almost like maybe a little bit of it's just overwhelming, and I feel like some of it could be it potentially like she didn't go into tons of detail, but I was like, I wonder if like some of it's a little bit of like imposter syndrome as well as just like being alone. You know, like they said, where it's like, you know, Rupert and Daniel sort of like had each other's back in a sort of way. There, you know, they're guys, but there wasn't any like consistent female co-star for her to have sort of close by in that sort of way. So
Yeah.
that sort of camaraderie that it's like with like the two of them to a degree, yes, but it's like when you're at that age, it's a lot harder to open up to people in that sort of way. You know, I loved how I think Daniel Radcliffe put it. It was like it's harder to be like nowadays. It's like now that we're older, it's like when you're younger, you don't just like how are you like how are you doing like how are you,
Yeah,
and it's like yeah when you're younger, you don't really necessarily think in terms of that, you know. So
for sure, for sure.
yeah.
And then I liked the little in memory of moment where they had like a little montage of some of the people that passed away.
Mm.
And I like the talking about Alan Rickman, how he needed to know his whole character arc. He was the only one who really knew.
From the beginning, she told him.
That's,
She told
yeah.
him from the very beginning, which is kind of wild because that like there was information, you know, that he kept secret the whole time. He and her, because like she'd only written when the first movie came out. She'd only written up to book 4, I think. Prisoner of Azkaban, maybe Goblet of Fire had come out at that point. I don't quite remember the exact timeline there, but that's correct. I mean, for such a central figure, I mean, it's obvious she had figured that out. Granular details of what happened in every single book, hadn't figured that stuff out, but it makes sense that she knew exactly like what makes him tick, like why is he this way, and so
Yeah, and the fact that like I forget which director was talking about how it was like he would do certain
I
little
think it was
nuances.
Chris Columbus, I think, for movie 2, I believe.
Right.
He was like, "Why are you doing that?" And he's like, "You'll find out later."
It's like, okay, I mean that's kind of hard to direct. Then I'm just like, I don't take your word for it. It's probably pretty good.
But it's true because like there's a lot of the little subtleties in a lot of the things that he does throughout all of the movies from the beginning.
Yeah.
That just a little look or a little bit of something, you know. I mean, there's the famous thing of there's a scene in Blood Prince that I don't remember if I talked about during the review. I probably did, but he was so good that they had to take it out because it sort of gave it away, like the fact that he was ultimately a good guy, you know, and they wanted to at least keep it sort of that sort of self-contained for people who are just watching the movies and just as for the movie itself, for the flow of the movie itself, so it doesn't necessarily give too much away in that particular book or that particular film.
Yeah.
So
Right. I mean, yeah. I really enjoyed it. I mean, there's not that it's obviously not that much to dive into as opposed to the full movies. But there was something nice about how it's like a celebration of the whole series, where it's like, you know, we're breaking down each one, we're reviewing them, comparing them, but this one's just like celebration. It's not like one's better than the other. You know, every movie gets its chance to shine, and every director gets their say and all that. So it's pretty cool in that way.
Yeah, I agree. I think, I mean, it's just a nice little timepiece, you know, to have to. Hopefully, they have the chance to do another reunion again sometime down the line. You know, it was great, and I mean, I think it's also nice just seeing them, you know, older and like really kind of understanding and appreciating like this sort of special time that they had with as they said, the who's who of British actors
Mhm.
of the time period.
Yeah.
Um, and they maybe couldn't appreciate it when they're younger. They don't necessarily know who they all are, but they certainly know who all of them are now. And I loved. I think one of my also another one of my favorite anecdotes was when apparently Danny Radcliffe was saying to Emma, was like, "Don't screw this up. This is Gary Oldman. He's extremely
Yeah.
cool." It's just like he's like, "Yeah, I was probably doing that more for myself than for you because it's
Right.
freaking out." Because yeah, Gary Oldman is just an amazing, amazing actor.
But I liked when Daniel was
um,
talking to Gary Oldman too, and they were like
yeah,
laughing about Alan Rickman stuff. It was
mm,
just nice to see
yeah,
that, like, they did nice little pairings and groupings of them all, and to see them
mm,
actually, they all seemed to be into it. It didn't seem like, oh, I come to, they kind of forced me to come over here. It's like they all seem
yeah,
passionate and appreciative and genuinely reflecting on the impact of the movies and their experience. So it was
for
nice.
sure.
But
I will say Bonnie Wright looks the most. She's also very tall, but she's also the most just. She just is the most British looking woman. You like
oh yeah.
you imagine to me, she's just like a British woman. It's just like there she is. It's just the jawline. She's sort of tall, very straightforward, and
Long woman.
this is a long woman.
But I like
um,
seeing all the clips they mixed in there from the past of, like, when they were first doing their auditions and stuff.
yeah, yeah, sweet stuff.
It's
Really,
really sweet.
yeah.
Really sweet. And it's just like you can't be mad watching this. There's not
Not one
much to
bit.
critique.
No,
It's just
no.
a nice
Yeah,
experience, nice little ride.
yeah. I liked it quite a bit.
Right? It's much
So
better than Fantastic Beasts: The Secret of
it
Dumbledore,
it
and
is it
definitely
is.
The Crimes
It's,
of Grindelwald. So,
yeah, yeah.
but I can't wait for 10 years from now when we have the Fantastic Beasts reunion.
25th 25th the 25th anniversary reunion special. Oh yeah, I'm sure everyone will get together for that.
Yep, that'll be
Yeah.
awesome. Oh, Dobby was there too. That was cool.
Oh yeah, Toby Jones he's a great actor.
Yeah.
It's yeah, seen him in a few things.
All right, Alec.
Oh,
Let's.
yeah.
What score do you give Return to Hogwarts?
Can you even give it a score? I don't know, like an 8.5. It was good. It was
8.5.
solid. Yeah, it was a good little ride.
I give it a 9. All right.
Okay.
Because lesser, if it wasn't handled, it was handled so well, like, and it's so thoughtfully. I felt to where
Yeah.
so often if you're doing something like this, you kind of phone it in. It's like you might just have the 3 main cast members kind of talk about it,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But they really got the who's who here.
I mean, I guess to its credit is that I was wanting more. That was a good thing. I just wanted more
Take
more
me
interviews,
back.
more stories. Like, they tell me it all about it.
Take me back to Hogwarts.
Take me back to Hogwarts. One little thing that I thought was kind of silly and or stupid was the non Harry Potter music that played during it. Sometimes it was Harry Potter music, and then other times it was
Yeah.
very much was not. There's a lot of weird editing choices with some of that stuff. So, but that's just a nitpick.
Oh, and I
It's
did
just
want
that's
to
just
mention. Yeah.
that's just my editor brain going. I'm not even a film editor, but like that's just like me in editing mode. Like my brain just kind of goes like, you probably gotta, yeah. What were you
I
gonna
did
say
want to
then?
mention the little Tom and Emma relationship. I didn't know about. That was cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. I knew that she'd had like a huge crush on him. And I seem to remember some of that, but like I'm glad. I was really glad to like hear both their perspectives on it again, because I think they fleshed that out more. I feel like I remember hearing about that like around Prisoner of Azkaban days or something, where she in an interview or something talked about like having the biggest crush on him, and
Okay.
but yeah,
Because that's something, like, just from watching the movies you would never know. So it was like,
no, not at all, not at all.
But yeah. So I give it a 9. It's an 8 point. Tarqaron score 8.75. Right.
Yeah, it's it's worth your HBO Max, your Max subscription for 1 month just to see it. That's what I did. So
Max it out.
I will say I immediately followed up with an episode of the Hogwarts House Cup or whatever, Tournament of
Oh yeah,
Champions.
what is that?
Have you seen that?
I saw
Oh
it
my god,
recommended or whatever.
it's so embarrassing. It's like it's like a quiz show that they did that was filmed during like COVID times. So like not everyone whose contestants are all wearing masks, but like everyone in the audience is all wearing a mask. So that's kind of like, well, we know when this was. Helen Mirren is there, and she's like the host, and she's just hamming it up. Clearly, they're happily taking a paycheck.
Like trivia,
yeah, it's like Harry Potter trivia. It's like film and book trivia.
How
basically,
like
and
it's series or how long?
No, it's only 4 episodes, which is one thing that's like. But everything feels like it feels like every reality show, like game show now. I'm not talking about like Jeopardy, where it's like very quick, concise. You get little bits and pieces about info. No, they got to drag it out. It's like, now where are you from? What when did Harry Potter tickle your scrotum? That kind of thing. It's just like, it's just like, I don't care about any of these losers. I say as a loser wearing my having my wand and everything. I'm like, I don't care about these people. I would have been there in a heartbeat. 100%, I would have been there. What would you have done? Was it competition, right? I've gotten every single question right, so.
You trouncing them? Did anyone else get them all right?
Yeah. So they do this like weird thing where it's like, you have the 3 contestants of each house. So it's basically the way it's working is like you have each house. So you've got Gryffindor. The first episode is Gryffindor versus Hufflepuff. The next episode will be Ravenclaw versus Slytherin. Then there's going to be a wild card round where the losers of each will play each other, and then there's the grand finale. And I guess it didn't do all that well because they only did 1 season of it. But I guess just for the 20th anniversary, I guess that's why. But I will say it's interesting. Lee Jordan from the earlier films makes a little cameo appearance, which is fun.
Who's that?
He's the Quidditch announcer. Point for Slytherin. They lead Gryffindor 90-30.
All right.
You have him. He makes a little appearance and it's kind of cute. I will say, there was one question. There was one thing I got wrong. It was because it was the most BS question I've ever seen in my life. It was like, here is these 3 couches. Which one of these couches was the one the Grangers were sitting in?
Ooh, you got it.
And they let them like go up and like take a look around and check them.
Okay. And
look at them. And both teams got it wrong. This was like during a round where it's like, oh, if you get it wrong, the other teams get a chance to steal, Family Feud style. But neither of them got it right. And then they showed the scene. They showed the scene in the movie. And I was like, you can't even see 20% of the couch in the screen on the screen. You can't see 20% of the couch. You can't see the couch. That's like, how are they supposed to know? You can't even see it. I just watched that movie like a month ago. I couldn't remember. I was like, that's BS. That's the worst question you could possibly. He was like, here we have these 3 couches. Which of these couches was the one in the Grange's house? And I was like, when they said that, I was like, oh my god, who? It's not like that was in the movie for like 3 seconds, like total.
They're gonna start. Yeah, that's how they have to really get the hardcore fans. You gotta ask them about what stuff's in the background of this scene.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciated the deep cut like that. I like that. That was just nonsensical to me. That was just like, you can't even see the whole, like, not even remotely close to enough of the couch to be able to make that determination without like seeing it and then seeing the couch and then be, oh yeah, it's Absolutely. That one. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's a good segue, Alec, because next week I'll be putting you to the test. Harry Potter Trivial Pursuit questions.
Okay, we'll test my Potter knowledge, I guess.
Yeah, it'll be a part of our little going away celebration. We'll have some Harry Potter trivia, and we'll have like a video wrapping up the whole series, a tier list, and whatnot.
I was also a little pissed off because they had a cursed child question there. I was mad about that.
You got it right.
I did, yeah.
You know your cursed child.
Unfortunately, it was like in the Cursed Child, the trolley lady says she's been on the Hogwarts Express for how many years, and I was like, okay, it was like multiple choice, and I was like, okay, I know, like from the multiple choice you can just sort of suss it out, but
Well,
I didn't like that I knew. I didn't like that I knew that.
this is something like 600 questions altogether, so we'll go through every
So
one.
yeah, we'll go through every single one, and
But this is only based on what the things we saw on the channel. It's not going to be anything
Okay.
outside of the movies.
Oh, okay.
At least it says it's based on the movie. I don't know if there will be somehow a question there. It's not.
Yeah.
But the categories are animals and magical creatures, magical people, magical objects, magic spells and potions, Hogwarts, and the dark arts.
Why didn't they keep the magical on each one? It could be called called it magical Hogwarts.
Magical Hogwarts? Yeah. But it'll be interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Will he get them all correct? We'll see.
We'll see.
600
we'll
for
figure
600.
600 points for Gryffindor.
That's right. Yeah, maybe we should do the sorting hat before that, and it's like this the house you're playing for. All right. Well, if our viewers enjoyed this video, what one should they watch next?
Go check out our review of. Well, go check out our original "The Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them" review. Go check that out. Because even though the rest of the series wasn't great, I think if you just watch that movie and stand alone, I think you could probably still have a good time in the Wizarding World. So
that's the thing. Like, if I was showing someone the whole Harry Potter series, like, I would want to watch through all the first 8, but I would have no problem just stopping. Just absolutely stopping.
Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't too, but I still do like that first Fantastic Beasts quite a lot. But yeah, I would say to people, if like, is that the only one you've seen? And if they said yes, then I would say, you don't need to watch anymore. You're good. You're fine. You really don't need to watch more. You can save yourself a whole lot of headache.
But we did. We left no stone unturned here. So.
No stone unturned. Yeah. Well, hold on. We didn't go spend like $600 to go see it on Broadway. What the heck? Cursed Child.
We'll do that.
Maybe we will. That'd be kind of fun.
We could do it.
Not the spending that much money, but
we could do an in-person review after the fact. Yeah.
Yeah, on the train or something. Be like, well, that was
platform 9 3/4.
Yeah. On the train home tonight, as it is.
One day we'll get there. We'll finally finish our Harry Potter series with that last bit of unfinished business. But yeah. All right. I mean, who knows what happens with this Harry Potter series? I don't know if that'll be something we dabble in.
Yeah. I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic.
Well, you watch it every day of the week. You could.
I probably will. I'll probably get a Max subscription again for it,
coming soon, or whatever. A Dobby miniseries, and you'd be all on board. You'll be watching every episode. It's like like a Disney Plus original.
A Disney. He's on Disney Plus.
They only got the rights for Dobby.
Yeah, they got the.
I can see him fit right in there.
Oh dear. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, I'll watch it on Max or whatever they've decided to change the name of the service to by the time the Harry Potter series comes out. They'll just call it like I don't know,
MX.
BOM. I don't know, right. MX. Yeah.
So no, I got it. It's the Dobby sitcom. Dobby's World. Laugh track as soon as Dobby walks in. You know it.
Hello.
All right. Well, so until that comes out, this is it for the films we'll be watching. All right. So see you next week for a couple more.
Kramer, why'd you bring him over for?
Yeah, he's got all the sitcom characters coming to visit. He's got Alf. Alf's there.
Get Alf. Oh, gee.
Fran Drescher, the nanny.
Fraser.
All right.
Oh boy.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, Larry David's there.
Yep.
All right. If you enjoyed the video,
Like,
subscribe to the
keep
channel, like the video, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, and if you do, we'll be sure to read the next episode of the Tarqaron podcast. All right. Click the link in the description for our social media. All right.